lots of other things.
I had a full night's sleep last night. I'm just like
ready to go.
I'm like feeling it today.
Okay. Today is Wednesday, March
13th?
13th. Is it 13th already?
Maybe.
Yes. No. It's the 13th because
the 16th we have the show.
Right. So 13th. It's Wednesday, March 13th.
Got a full night's sleep.
Yeah,
I know what day it is.
Also, we took a little bit of time this morning and did some cross stitching, which was so nice because I tried to do some cross stitching last night and could not see any of the stitches. So we decided that we were going to do a little bit this morning instead. And it's amazing what sleep and daylight will do.
Yeah.
Because I
think mainly sleep.
Oh my God, I was so tired yesterday. I got almost no sleep the night before, and it was just everything.
Yeah.
Was wrong.
Well, I mean, with daylight savings, and we had a hell of a Sunday, and it was just, which we will get into.
Nothing bad. It was really good.
No,
it was really good.
It was just
so
long.
It was a long day. But okay, so let's do the knit crate first. Get them out of the way.
Yes.
Done because I have a pile over here.
Oh my God, we have so much to go over.
Yeah, we've got so much to talk about. But it's a little precarious, and I figure if I can get them off the pile, it'll be good. All right, so our February knit crate is this one. And we asked you to tell us what your favorite wintertime holiday was, or winter
snow day activity.
Snow day activity, because it was snowing the day we podcast. And we had a lot of people answer, and we picked, and the winner is Nitty Kitty 20932.
Her name, power to you, Rhonda.
I was going to say her name is Rhonda, and her favorite snow day activity is...
She likes to get up before everybody else and go out and shovel snow.
Well, she likes it when it's untouched.
Like it's quiet and you get to see the untouched snow, which I can kind of understand, but I can get that and just walk out and see it and go, that's beautiful. Somebody else shovel.
Right. I have to say, this year, we're on a barrier island. We seem to be somewhere different here. But this year, we're on a barrier island. And I love it because it snows and then turns to rain. And there's nobody around, so nobody cares if you shovel your sidewalk
I mean,
or not.
I don't have to shovel it all because nobody's here. We have 4 people on our block during the winter.
I was going to say, untouched snow, it's pretty much untouched all the time because there's nobody here. So I love it.
Until we leave the house, which sometimes we don't do.
Right. You really have to twist my arm to make me do that.
And I think, knock wood, we're
Hopefully.
heading in the right direction now.
Oh, definitely heading in the right direction, and knock wood, we may be done.
Yeah.
So we have daffodils that are actually popping.
Just ready to pop.
And then they haven't opened yet, but the yellow is definitely out. And then the others, you can see the yellow coming up. It hasn't come through yet.
Oh, those in the backyard?
Yeah, but the 2 in front, that yellow is out. It just needs to open up. So very excited. I love daffodils so much.
It's just,
really love them.
And you know what? It wasn't a bad winter. And
No.
I think it's just every year it just seems like more and more and more. It's just like, give me spring.
Yes.
Just give me spring.
Oh my God, yes.
I just want to open the windows and have the
I
fresh
can't wait to open
and
and just air out the place.
I mean, I was dying yesterday. And
DYE.
Dying yarn, not dying. And it gets very steamy because you're cooking yarn, and it's fine during the winter, but it was getting a little close yesterday. I'm like, I just want to open the windows.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is going to suck in the summer.
No, it may not be too bad. We'll
have
see how
fans.
this is.
Right,
Yeah,
we'll
see how it is. And we are very close to the ocean, so once you open the windows, you get that great sea air. Love it. All right, so.
Anyway, we digress. Rhonda, get in touch with us. Ravelry, Instagram. With
Ravelry, if you could do it on the Ravelry, please.
Oh, okay.
Because then we know to look for it.
Yeah, get in touch with Mary Beth or myself, and just send us your address, and we will shoot this in the mail to you.
Right. So
Congratulations.
Then, the other day, the March box came. So,
do we have a prompt?
I was thinking March or spring flowers.
Okay. What's your favorite spring flower?
Spring flowers.
So this is what is this?
What is this?
This is the yarn. You only get one skein this month.
But you get a
But
bag.
you get a project bag to go with it.
You get a project bag that says make something today.
So you get this pretty spring skein of yarn. Got yellow, little lilac.
And the blue matches the blue of the zipper and the thing. And it's this is a canvas bag. It's a nice size for like socks or something like that. And it's canvas.
Oh, this is nice yarn.
So we got
is Knitology Sheen, which is their in-house yarn, but it's 75% merino wool, 15% silk, 10% cashmere.
wow.
So, and it's fingering weight, so you got 400 yards.
Okay, and then you also get your booklet with all the different patterns they have for their different yarns. So they've got a honeycomb shawl that I believe may be crochet.
Yeah, that looks crochet.
They've got
Yeah, I see chain 3, so.
Solon, but that might be the part of this.
Oh, okay.
Here's another shawl that I'm pretty sure that is crochet. There is,
God bless you. We have 2 dogs, for those joining us for the first time, who sometimes get a little vocal, so we apologize if you have your earbuds in. We try and edit as much of it out as possible.
Triometry is their sock pattern this month. So you get the booklet with all the different patterns.
The pattern booklet is really cool.
Yeah. All right. So
I mean, so is the yarn. It's just you get a fun little pattern booklet too. Where's the bag?
leave us a prompt. What's your favorite spring flower or flower period? Flowers, just
Favorite spring flower.
Okay.
What makes you think of spring when you see it? So.
Okay. And we will set up the prompt on Ravelry, and then just leave us a comment. You need to be a member of the group, and then we will pick that hopefully next time. Okay.
Excellent.
Done. All right, so that's that. We did mention that we are going to be at a trunk show on Saturday. We are going to the knitting store out in Oceanside, Long Island. So anybody who is in and around Long Island and wants to come and visit Long Island, if you want to come visit us, we are going to be out there Saturday from noon to 4. Hello, Tabitha.
We have cats too.
Okay, so you know how I said precarious?
Next to go is the water.
I know.
She's gonna make herself a nest now.
Oh, God. Welcome to the circus.
Ah,
That wasn't even one of the pets. That was
me.
Helen. Okay. All right. Anyway. So we're going to be out in Long Island on Saturday, and then the following Saturday, the 23rd, we are going to be at Yarnings in Skippack, Pennsylvania, and we are doing a trunk show there too. So
and then 2 weeks after that is YarnCon.
Oh God.
It may be time to start panicking.
Okay.
All right. So should we talk about? It's been 2 weeks since our last podcast, and we have a very good reason for that.
Yes.
Oh,
maybe
I was about to curse. Is she making herself a nest?
Yes. All right. All right.
Okay. You need to stop. You need to stop.
Okay.
You don't even start.
All right. Getting back on track here. Here we go. Ready?
Anyway,
I'm going to prop this up with my elbow.
the reason we haven't podcast for 2 weeks is we have a new nephew. And he arrived on March 3rd, which is very appropriate because he is the third child. So he arrived on 3/3 at 2 a.m. He was in...
It was almost 3 a.m. It was 2:45, so it was almost.
So that our sister-in-law, a trooper, she was induced at 6 a.m. on the
Saturday.
The 2nd. And he did not arrive until 3 a.m. So it was almost 24 hours. So we went down and saw him on Sunday. He is beautiful. His name is Declan Benjamin.
Oh my God.
And
He was 7 pounds 2 ounces, full. I mean,
oh my God, so
full
much
head of hair.
We will insert a picture of him. But Sunday we drove down to Virginia and back in the same day. It's a 4.5 hour drive. So the reason we are recuperating from Sunday is that just alone we were in the car for 10 hours.
And the poor guys, they came with us and they had to stay in the car the whole time.
Yeah.
So while we were inside visiting with the nephew, they were still in the car. So
But they had a lovely berth. We brought their dog beds and we put the seats down, so they were all set up in the back of the car. And we ran out and gave them walks. So.
And they got to see, people walking by and stuff like that.
So
that was cool. That was very, very cool. It was so nice to see him and see the other 2 nephews. Get to visit with Brayden and Cullen also. So it was a nice day. All right.
As a matter of fact, Colin even said that he wanted us to stay and he was going to allow us to sleep in his bunk bed.
That's right. Oh, so we went in and I said to the boys, so do you have anything to share?
Anything to tell us?
Anything to tell us? And they're like, no. I said, well, did you get anything new? And Colin says, we got new bunk beds. I'm like, well, as exciting as that is, did you get a new brother?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then at one point, Colin's there going, I got your nose. And he's like squeezing the poor kid's nose. And my brother's like, please don't do that.
I didn't realize he was doing that.
That was when we were leaving and he's like, I got your nose. And Larry's like, yeah, he can't even breathe through his mouth yet. That's how he breathes. So please stop doing that.
Oh my God.
So Colin is 4. Declan is a week.
Colin is almost 5. He's going to be 5
5
in 2
May.
months.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
They're growing
it's happening
so
too
fast.
fast.
Brayden is 7.5.
Oh, boy, is he 7.5.
Yes, he is.
His father told him that he was not allowed to do anything until after we left.
After the ants left.
He couldn't play his games. He couldn't do anything. So
At one point,
he actually asked us to leave.
He's like, could you go, please?
Could you go? Because I can't play my FIFA until you could leave. And then we're like saying goodbye, and all of a sudden there's this lightning shot as he went running upstairs, and I'm leaving, and I'm saying, okay, Brayden, you can go play your game now. Yeah, I've already started. Goodbye. Okay.
All right then.
So anyway, that was fun.
Yes.
We
We decided that with everything that we have going on that we were going to do it in a day. I don't want to do that too often.
No, I think from now on we have to have something. We're kind of going to see them as part of something,
right?
You know,
Just so that we're staying.
Because it's just, especially since we're always more than likely going to have the guys with us, so 4.5 hours becomes 5.5 hours because you have to make stops for them.
And it's long.
It's a long day in the car. So,
all right.
And the toaster is wonderful. It's a little small.
Yep, I love it. I love it so much. Okay, what should we do next?
Should we do you're holding that, so why don't we'll show those, or is that at the
Okay. I can get to it. It's
Okay.
okay. I just have to move stuff around. All right, so what Helen is talking about is she came up with this idea that we set ourselves a challenge, and we asked you guys to give us suggestions, and you gave us some amazing suggestions. And we will pick one out of the box each time we podcast, and we have to come up with something creative to do for that prompt. So our last one was Windmill was the last one.
Anyway, so Tabitha knocked everything off the table.
Tabitha's no longer on the table.
Tabitha has been removed.
So
she will be back.
All right, Windmill. We were going to do a windmill.
Yes, Windmill was our craft challenge.
Helen said that she was going to do a mural. There you go.
Now, realize that my shading may be a little bit off, so you can't completely see my mural. So we will hold it up for everybody.
There you go. That is the mural. That is Don Quixote tilting at the windmill. He's not shooting at it, he's tilting at it.
There you go. That is my mural.
On to our real things.
So, we both, as soon as we pulled it out, we both said, oh, I know what I'm going to do.
Right.
So I decided I was going to do an embroidery. I had something else in mind, but then I found a quote that I loved. So I did, this is my windmill.
It is so pretty.
Didn't come out exactly as I had it in my mind, but I love
What
it.
would you have changed?
I think the green background
Okay.
and probably the lettering.
Okay.
Maybe the stitching around the windmill blade. All of it! I hate it
Every
all.
last thing.
No. I had originally thought in my head when I was going to do it that I was going to do like a running stitch because I knew I was going to do the fabric blades. That was always part of the thing. Originally I was just going to do like a Dutch windmill and have different colored fabric blades. And I thought in my head I'm going to do a running stitch, which is like a gapped, so it's not like a straight line. You have gaps in between each stitch.
Right. Actually, I will be, I think.
Like almost like a dashed. It's a dashed line.
Yeah,
It's not
it's-
almost like a dashed line. It is a dashed line.
Right, okay.
So I thought that would be kind of cool. And then in the process of changing everything, I forgot that until I finished the whole thing. And I'm like, oh, I was going to do that.
Okay.
And I think that might have added a little bit of extra rusticness
Right, okay.
to it. I love it the way it came out. And, you know, for doing it on the fly in a week, I think it's really kind of
I think you should read the quote though.
very well done. Okay, so it says the scariest dragons and the fiercest giants usually turn out to be no more than just windmills. And that's from Don Quixote. So I found the quote and I'm like, that's perfect. And then we were looking at windmill crafts and then this was like I've seen people do it where they have the wooden signs, like
Right.
half the rustic windmill, the farm windmill. And I love that look. So that's kind of what I was going for.
Turn it around because you finished it off and everything.
Yes, I completely finished. So I've got my felt on the back, kind of well done, sort of, and my blanket stitch going around this to secure it.
I am not 100% done mine.
I'm going
God bless
to
you.
put it on the wall in my room probably,
It's going to look really pretty.
because I have a couple other ones that I've done in the past. So, and I really like the look of the hooped embroidery.
So, I love it.
So
I really love that look.
it's really cool. And I like doing with the fabric as part of it. So it's just not exactly what was in my mind.
Okay.
But I'm not sure how I would change it. Yours, I just adore.
Mine is not finished. I didn't cut off my edges and everything like that. I have to finish it and then back it. But this is how it came out.
So pretty.
I had
Love the
seen
colors.
similar things with teepees and buses and things like that, and I thought that is what I want to do. So I did all different kinds of colors and a couple of different stitches. I have the chain stitching going around. I have back stitching. I have stem stitching. Around the outside of the windmill is stem stitching. The main parts of the blades, that's chain stitching.
And this is all freeform. She did not draw on her fabric. I drew mine on my
No,
fabric.
I did.
Oh, you
I drew
did?
the basic outline of the windmill.
I copied mine. I mean, I used a light box. I created my pattern in on the computer with the lettering and everything like that, and then I used a light box and it, translated it onto. I should have brought that. But anyway, we're gonna actually might have blog posts because we took pictures of our
progress and everything, right?
So you just freehanded.
Yeah, I just
you
I drew freehandedly. I don't know. Anyway, I
Whatever.
took
She
a
just
pen
drew it.
and drew, going by a picture from Pinterest, I drew a picture of the windmill and then
love yours.
stitched over it, and I adore it. I need to cut off my extra fabric
It's gonna look so pretty on the wall.
and use felt to back it, and then it will go hanging in my room. But I'm so happy with
So
it.
week 1.
Done.
It's passed.
Yeah. And I think we get a full 10 out of 10 for
Yeah.
these, because these are good. These really are very, very good. I just have to finish mine and then we will be good. All right, so now our next challenge. We're going to pick our next challenge. If you would like to leave us suggestions, please continue to do so, because I have a box that I am putting them in.
And as
so
we
that-
get new suggestions, we just throw them in the box.
Right.
So, You may
All right.
pick. I picked last time.
Ready?
No
Here we go.
whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
Crocuses in the snow.
How perfect. For this time of year. Going to have to think about that.
Okay.
Crocuses in the snow.
Crocuses in the snow. All right. I kind of have a couple ideas going through my head.
I've
for
got
that.
something
Percolating.
coming.
All right. Shall we get into
While we're
talking
on
about
stitching.
on stitching and embroidery? Somebody had asked us to make sure we show our embroidery that we're doing every day because we decided to do a project where we're embroidering something every day. And all right.
Oh, it's not on my phone. There is someone on Instagram whose name we always forget. And
Is it Stitching Poo or something like
yeah,
that?
that's it.
Stitching Poo.
Yes.
Okay, she's on Instagram.
With a name like that, you would think I would remember.
And she did it last year. This year, she's got it where she's got pie shapes for each of the months. And
Yeah,
she's filling.
she's taken her circle and she's divided it into 12 pie pieces, and each pie is a month.
And she's doing that. But
She is much more accomplished. I mean, she had one, she was showing her March ones, and it's like, oh, it was a windy day, so she has little swirly winds. And, I went and saw Spider-Man, so she's got Spider-Man.
But like the windy days, that you can take and go with. You can work with that. You just haven't thought of it.
It was just, and she used like a running stitch to do the wind.
Right.
So it was really very cool.
So this is mine right now. You can see how it's filling in. We have done it every single day. We have not missed a day. Even the days where we get home really, really late and can't do it, we do 2 the next day. Now, sometimes it's very, very simple and very, very small, and sometimes it's a little bit bigger. Like yesterday, I got barely any sleep, so I did my bed because that was really the only place I wanted to be. But then another day, I just did an apple because we had really good apples that day or something like that. So, and then I have some that are, like I have flowers here, a vine with flowers, and there's some days where I can't think of anything and I just add another flower to it. So that I'm doing that as well. So yeah, that's as far as I've gotten. However, that's getting very full for just the beginning of March.
I was going to say, I'm going to need a lot more days where it's just a little bit.
I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to have to start filling in between things, like around New York City, doing something around the letters of New York City and doing it that way, so that I've got...
Yesterday I just couldn't come up with anything, so I just did these little V's as just space filler.
Oh, those are really pretty.
Yeah.
I like those.
I mean, I saw them on Pinterest as a stitch, so I'm just like, oh, well, that's cool. I'll just do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Declan. He gets a big front and center.
Yeah, I have him too.
We were we turned on the TV the other day and The Office was on. We were going to watch something else, but we just stayed watching it. So it was the episode where Dwight, it's the safety officer, and he's teaching them all a lesson because they won't listen to him, so he sets the office. Like, it was so funny. And at one point, he sets up a firecracker, and Andy's like, oh my God, the fire is shooting at us. So we were overcome. So I did, right here it says, the fire is shooting at us. But I will always remember this ridiculous.
Only you won't. And in 3 years, we're going to look at this and go, the
fire is shooting at us, but I will remember. I mean, there was a day where we got all our Airbnbs for all the shows coming up. So we spent a tremendous amount of money on Airbnb, so I wrote that down. I free-handed a vacuum cleaner at some point, which is the most ridiculous looking thing you've ever seen in your life. That there is a vacuum cleaner because I cleaned it was my annual cleaning day.
I love that we have an annual cleaning day. Not a weekly.
No.
But we have an annual.
So I just love the look of them.
So do I.
And I know that I'm going to really love looking back at it and being like, oh yeah, and then what the hell is there?
Well, this is no TV. Because
which we will get into.
We're doing something where we're cutting back on TV, so I have my no TV day, and then I have a bunch of different things. We went out to lunch and had a really good patty melt, so I have patty melt there. So yeah, no, it's fun. It's really fun.
Like my sock, right above my ridiculous vacuum cleaner. There's my sock. I'm pointing in the back. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, no,
but I do have to start going much smaller.
Yes.
Save the bigger spots for the bigger.
Well, that's the thing, because I'm going to want Christmas and Halloween and things like that in there. So, and we have the shows coming up.
And how many Declans are going to happen this year? I mean, only one, but
right.
But things like Declan. So,
yeah, very cool.
So every so often we will show you progress.
But that's where we are right now. I love it. All right. Who would think that I would be holding up embroidery and saying I love it?
Yeah, and I have another one.
All right. Do you want to
do this now, or since we're on the subject of embroidery?
Oh yeah, no, definitely do it.
Okay, so this is something I was working on. I saw she did a mixed media journal page,
right?
Where she had vintage paper in the background, and then she cut out a bird and flowers, and it was called Signs of Spring. And I thought, oh, that might be kind of cool as an embroidery. So this is what I did. And I thought, bringing in the mixed media, I'd use the fabric. This is something I did a couple weeks ago. I think the background fabric is way too busy for it.
We had said that we wanted something less busy because it just is overtaking everything else.
Because we were toying with the idea of making kits for it. I think we have moved off that for right now, but I just wanted to show it since we were showing all the embroidery. So I will just finish this one up, and again, just add it to my wall of embroidery.
I think the problem is your eye immediately goes to the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
And you don't see the rest of it. You see it if you look closely, but to begin with, and what you want is these guys to really pop out and be. And I think about them.
If it had been like a gray or more muted, even the exact same pattern on the fabric, but just gray or more muted, because I love the idea of the Paris ephemera. I always do.
Yeah, we always gravitate towards Paris ephemera.
So, but for me, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So I will finish that and add it to the wall. Okay.
On to knitting?
Sure.
Shall we do knitting? All right, shall we start with what we've got around us in the background? We have on the Spice Market. That was test knit for us, and not test knit, sample knit for us. It's beautiful. I am wearing the pollinator shawl, which is a great shawl to do with minis. And we are going to have kits for these when we go to all the different festivals. I'm not sure whether we're going to have them at the trunk shows just because of space. Yeah. But we'll definitely have them with us at the festivals. And what are you wearing?
I'm wearing Welcome Spring, which is a great 3-color shawl. It's a nice long sail shawl. I'd take it off, but I have a ratty collar on.
Okay.
So it's hiding things. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. Welcome Spring. It's a perfect first time shawl, or if you're just looking for potato chippy, because it's garter, 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 yarn overs. Garter, 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 yarn overs. So,
it is beautiful, and I love that style shawl.
Yeah, and it's one that I always wear.
Yeah.
Because it's just an easy one to just throw on.
Then it works.
Yeah.
It looks good no matter what you do with it.
So
yeah, love that. All right, how much knitting have you got?
You've
got a finished object though.
I have
half hoe. So you want to show your hoe?
Okay. How many do you have?
I have 3. So if you start with your hoe, and then I'll do.
You'll do 2 in a row. Okay.
Well, no, because then
I just have 2.
I know. Oh, that's one of them is. I gotcha. Okay.
So my hoe is my Christmas Eve cast on, which is the Twinkling Trees socks by Danny from Little Bobbins. I actually cast this on Christmas Day. And then other things happened, but I have hope.
So
And I love
pretty.
it.
So pretty.
So the main body is That'll Do Pig. And then it's just a gray mini and a yellow bit of yarn that we had left over. But I did.
Look how nicely the trees are showing up.
I know.
So
They show up so well on camera.
right.
Really shows that some of my baubles didn't make it quite to the top of the tree.
Ah.
But anyway. My heel is the Garter Heel by Knit Pearl Hunter. A lot of people ask me on Instagram which heel I used. I love this heel. It fits my foot very well. It's a piece of cake to do. Because since I was doing one at a time, I did consider the the heel flap and gusset, which is what you did. But I'm like, no, I can do a heel really fast. And I like the way this heel fits. I love the garter heel because it's a squishy heel, and I like the way this shape of heel fits my foot.
Also, it is wonderful if you do 2 at a time socks.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful heel to do for 2 at a time.
And then the other thing I did was the umbrella toe that was part of Kay Jones's Beatrix Potter sock club, because I just fell in love with that toe. Number one, you come down to 8 stitches, so you have 4 stitches on each needle to Kitchener. But also I just love the look, the rounded look of the toe.
Yeah.
So
I have to remember to do that when I get there.
other than that, I followed the pattern. So it's a 1x1 twisted rib. And I have very quickly started, before I decided I didn't want to do a second sock, my second sock. So I have like half my ribbing done.
Cool.
It's a great pattern. I love the pattern. And when I was finishing it up and looking at it, I'm like, I like patterned socks. Keeps you a little bit busier because it's a lot of stockinette once you're done the pattern, but it's really neat to have a patterned sock.
Well, you know what I love doing stockinette? Stripy socks. Because
Yeah.
then I just...
Or the one I'm doing, it's not Peter. Is it Peter?
It is Peter because we
Peter.
did Jemima already.
Okay, so the Peter pattern from Kay Jones is great for self-striping because it allows the self-striping to shine, but it gives you a little bit of texture and a little bit of interest while you're knitting. So I really like that one. But anyway, I digress.
These are my Twinkling Tree socks. My colorway is Christmas Eve. Excuse me. It was our December color for our Yarn of the Month Club last year. And this is what it looks like knit up. And then I had just a pink bobble, excuse me, a pink mini that I did my baubles for. This is where I was last week. I had not started that heel. I had started this heel and I had to take it out and redo it. But both my heels are done. I am now coming down around the feet. So I'm working my way down the foot. So this is just straight stockinette, makes it very easy. I did the heel gusset and heel flap and gusset.
She does a really narrow heel turn. And I was wearing my Christmas Eve socks from last year that were her pattern, and that heel does not fit me well.
Okay.
Going down that narrow,
Right.
she really brings you down quite a bit, and I need a wider heel, I think. My fat heels.
I don't think it really affected me. I was wearing them yesterday and I don't think it affected me. So
I noticed that
don't
it was
know
just
that
it
I
was
did
like
that.
popping off the heel, so
Yeah.
that it was like riding down.
I don't know that I did that heel. I can't remember if I had
Yeah.
done
Maybe
the
not.
garter heel on that. I might have.
Because you were doing 2 at a time,
Right.
and you just figured out how to do it 2 at a time recently.
Yeah.
Also, I don't wear shoes. I wear shoes outside. I don't wear shoes in the house ever. So that's part of why it's also sliding off. If it's in a shoe, it stays on
Right.
fine, but it's when it's just socks.
I need to wear shoes all the time because my feet hurt if it doesn't have the arch support. So that I'm always in a pair of shoes. So for me, it's...
My feet object to
Yeah.
shoes.
Anyway, this is my sock. So this is where I am. I am, as I said, I have turned my heels and I'm on the foot now.
You're going to be done soon.
I hopefully am, because it adds another pair of socks to my drawer and I get to start a new pair.
Yeah.
And a new color. Love them.
Very
really,
cool.
really love them. I think I love the pattern on top. I really, really like that a lot.
And then you can go into maybe do Thomasina next.
That's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that next. Boy, did
Your
I
baubles
screw
are
up
bigger
these
than mine.
trees.
So my trees are good. My baubles are screwed up.
No, I guess that's right.
Just
I guess
like
that's
that.
right.
Yeah.
They just, this one, see how nicely that one is?
Yeah.
And this one just a
His arm's a little
bit limp.
crooked.
But yeah, so that's where they are. I really am so pleased with the way they knit up the color.
The yarn is
I thought the color knitted
Yeah.
up so beautifully. I love the little pops of color that are coming through. So if you haven't done if you got our Sock of the Month yarn and you didn't do December yet,
Now you know what it looks like.
get going.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty.
And it would make a very pretty shawl.
Yes. That is that project. And then I have been working on the Bits and Bobs blanket. Pattern also by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. And
I saw you knitting on yours yesterday. I'm like, oh,
Mary
I'll do mine.
from, again, I'm in the middle. From the Cherry Pearls podcast. Put it up as one of her favorite things that she was knitting. And I thought, oh, I love that. I need to do that. This is the way it is looking. I'm sorry I can't show you spread out because I'm in the middle of a row, but that is how it looks. Look how pretty that is.
Can you imagine that in a squishy sweater?
It would be a good sweater.
Yeah.
It would be a great, just simple
it wouldn't be a
raglan
terribly
sweater.
flattering sweater, but it would be.
No,
really
it would
cool
be
sweater.
the kind of sweater that you throw on when you're riding around at home. and it's
Exactly,
just
just a comfortable sweater.
really comfortable.
And soft, squishy superwash. Oh.
So what you do is you hold 2 strands of yarn. You have one background color that you're going with constantly.
Do you know what really helps? When your camera runs out and you restart the second half of your video? Pushing record.
Because we just did a whole bit.
Mary Beth just did a whole bit on her blanket. And it's going to seem really repetitive now, and we're just not going to be into it. So I apologize. This
Okay.
is boring. Because we just did this. Anyway.
Well, at least show this side so you don't see all the strings hanging out. All right, so anyway, I was talking about how you hold 2 strands together, and I am doing the main color that I am doing throughout the entire blanket is a gray. I have all different color grays that I am doing, well, not so much color grays, but this one is sea glass. It is gray with just little bits of blue and green in it, very muted. This one has cashmere in it.
And this is your second background color.
Yes, my first background color had stellina in it, and it had little bits of purple in it, but really not a lot. So
you really can't see where
the change happens.
the change happens at all, because the colors, and it's just all just this muted loveliness.
Right.
And
so,
I'm wondering if mine is going to be the same, because I'm a lighter background.
Okay.
And mine has red and black flecks in it right now.
okay.
So I'm wondering when I change, because I'm thinking of going to like a minty green or something, whether you'll be able to see the difference, or if it'll just be a marled.
Yeah. I think what's happening with mine is the marled bit is just muting down the colors a little bit.
Yeah.
Because this is the green that I am working with right now. And you can see that it's definitely that green, but it's a little
But
bit
it tones
muted.
it down, because this is a green.
Yeah, that's a very definite green. And this is just a little bit more muted.
Yeah.
So I love it. I am doing a set number of rows. It's not exact, but I'm getting a basic set number of rows so that I'm having approximately the same size row color of each, because I'm working with larger
Yeah.
skeins.
And the red, you just had the couple rows of the red because that's all that was left. But I love the every so often it's just like, oh, fooled ya.
Yeah, because like my purple might not be enough
Yeah.
to go. So the purple might just be a quick couple of rows. Although with that
There's a
purple,
lot of that, yeah.
I have a feeling I'm gonna love the way it looks and just keep going with it.
But that's the first that we're under.
Yeah, I am almost ready to move on to the next color. I have like 1 or 2 more rows
Yeah.
to do, and then I go on to the next color. So I'm trying to keep the bands similar in size.
I have to pull mine out and start working on mine again. Because I love this and I want it done.
Well, I had to, I went over to
We're going to get to a point where I'm not going to want all of this on me.
Right. I was working on my shawl that I'm going to show next, and I ran out of yarn, and I have to cake up more yarn, so I picked this up again. Okay.
My other knit is, our current book club is the Lilac Bus by Maeve Binchy. And this was the yarn that we dyed to go with it. And for those of you, the listing is closed, but for those of you who did the pre-order, they will be going out next week sometime. We are just waiting for a couple pieces for the people who bought the extras. So that's the yarn. And as the project for the book is this seal shawl by Nidhi Cancel.
And seal means the music of your soul. Yeah. Which we thought was so pretty.
We just loved the name of it. We loved the look of the shawl. And I now really love this pattern. So that I'm going to go and look at her other patterns and see what else she has.
This is the shape. It's a sail shawl, so that is going to be the shape
Yeah.
of the shawl. The shape of the shawl.
So you start with your standard, teeny tiny, and then you work your way up. And this is what...
Oh, that is looking so pretty on screen.
Beautiful.
Hold it, move it up a little bit closer because you really were catching the pattern.
Love.
Okay, lift up because
this color. Oh, I was going to do the whole pattern thing because you start off.
Okay.
It's like with the squares. So you start off with smaller squares, and then you go into a section with bigger squares.
It is so pretty,
isn't it? And I'm about halfway through.
Oh, it's so.
And
pretty.
the great thing about the pattern is once you figure again. It's memorizable, and you could just go along.
Right.
But it's enough to keep you interested. There is purling. I will warn you all, there is purling.
It is so nice.
It's so pretty. And it's just enough texture to make it really, really interesting.
Yeah.
And still show off the variegated yarn.
Oh, the yarn looks gorgeous.
I'm in love with the yarn. I mean, I dyed it, but oh my God, I just love this yarn.
That yarn is so beautiful.
And I just think this is the perfect pattern to showcase it where you're not just doing stockinette.
Right.
So it was, I mean, and we very specifically looked for something that was designed for variegated yarns.
So even if you're not doing the knit along,
right,
and you have a really pretty variegated yarn that you want to use, it's the Ceol, C-Y-O-L.
C-E-O-L?
C-E-O-L, sorry. C-E-O-L by, as we said, Nidhi Cancel.
Yeah, and you can do it with just one skein, or it's very easily adjusted to do for two or more if you want to make a really big one.
It is really pretty yarn.
Perfect spring shawl.
Yes. Okay, talking about spring shawls.
But that's why I haven't been working on my blanket, because I've been trying to get this done.
Because mine is really spring too.
Oh, yeah.
I am doing the 100 Acre Wood Shawl by Helen Stewart. Again, I am in the middle of a row. However, this time I have an excuse because I ran out of yarn. So I need another one. We've gone into the second skein of the yellow.
That yellow is so gorgeous.
And
so this is Dandelion Puff. This is from our Lost Words collection.
Right.
Oh my God, it's just, this yellow gets me time. I know people don't like to knit with yellow. Yellow is, Meredith is knitting with my two favorite colors.
And look how pretty that is. So I'm about to go into my second.
Shawl. I want to do your shawl.
Your shawl is so pretty. The second skein, I'm about to do the second skein of the green. And then after that, we are going to, when we put these together as kits for this shawl, we are going to do them as 50 gram minis instead of the 20 gram minis because you do need more than just a mini. After the green, I am going into the goldfinch. That is going to be next down there. And then here, can you hold that?
So the green is the acorn.
Yeah. And then this is the goldfinch. That's going to be next. And then I'm going to do the adder. That's going to be coming later. And then it's going to wind up with the Lost Words as the bottom. And that is the greens and yellows all mixed together. I love this collection of yarn. I love the shawl. I love everything about this project. I really, really do. I just...
Does it wash me out?
No. No, you're good.
Yeah.
Really love the way it's knitting up.
The mini sets of this sold out very quickly, but we do have the full skeins in the shop. And we will be dyeing up more minis before YarnCon, but...
Yeah. Really happy with the way it's going.
This so much.
I want to have quite a bit done before YarnCon so that when we take it and show it as a sample, people can really see how it looks.
I mean, we want to kit this up.
Right.
So we're going to get the 50 gram skeins in. Oh, love it.
Look here where I put speckles of darker green, and I love how they come through.
Yeah.
That's so pretty.
Just adds a little bit of depth to the whole thing.
Really like this. 100 Acre Shawl, Helen Stewart, Lost Words collection. Love. You were talking about the podcast that you were watching, and they're like, this, and then they put it down. That's the way it looks right now. So you can really see it. All right, that is it for me for knitting.
Yeah, me too.
Shall we move on to cross stitching?
Yeah, because that's not going to take any time.
Nope. All right. So Helen and I have gone down a rabbit hole. I blame Cocktail Hour at the Coop and Paige from Frame and Fiber because they did this new to you make along.
Oh, okay.
And they did this whole thing.
But it is your fault.
It is your fault. And they did this whole thing, try something new. So I tried cross stitch, and well, that's hours that.
Oh, and money? We did a very irresponsible thing. Like, very irresponsible. Anyway,
we acted like we had money to spend. All right, go ahead.
We acted like we have money.
Right.
While I was finishing my windmill, I thought, oh, I have to finish my very first cross stitch that got me into this mess. So I just wanted to show. This was the very first one I did. It was the Good Vibes Only. And I had said that I was going to keep it in the hoop and I'm just going to hang it. We have light sconces in the living room. So I'm going to hang it from one of the light sconces because I just love the colors.
So do I.
So much. So I did, again, just the felt on the back with a very bad blanket stitch. Haven't quite perfected this, but nobody looks at the back.
It is the perfect size for the wall.
Yes.
You know, for hanging under the wall sconces, it's the perfect size and it's the perfect color.
And it's just going to pop.
Yep.
It's going to be this little thing like, oh, look at that. So I really love that. And we were talking about, the other one I did was the...
Do you have it with you?
No, I left it on the kitchen table.
Oh, okay.
I self-medicate with ice cream. These were two that we got at TNNA last year. And it was, you know, if you're going to cross stitch, try them to make sure you like it. And the I self-medicate with ice cream had a similar, it was like a flower motif on the top and the bottom. But then the lettering called for black. And I don't like the black. The black is just too stark.
Right.
So I think Meredith and I were talking about it. Because also the piece of fabric that you got with the kit was cut at an angle. So whereas the stitching is straight, when you're holding up the piece of fabric, it makes it look like it's not. So we were saying that I'll probably just stitch it up again because it's going to be a quick, now I know, it's a quick stitch. And do a different color, maybe like this blue, because I just love this blue so much.
Right. And once you do the lettering in that blue, it's going to change it completely.
Exactly. And also maybe do it, the fabric they gave us was a very stark white fabric, so do it on something that's not quite. Everything was too stark. The fabric was too stark, the lettering.
Right.
So anyway, finished.
That
goes on the wall or the floor, whatever.
What else? All right, which one do you want to start with?
I have 3.
I have 3 too. Should we do the cupcakes?
Sure.
All right. One of our viewers sent us some patterns. Jen, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And we are behind on our thank you notes.
Yes, thank you very, very much. She sent us 2 of the cupcake patterns from, I think it's
Lola. It's the same place I did my mice.
Lola Lotta or
Lola Lotta shop on Etsy.
Okay, and Helen is doing...
We will try and do show notes on the bottom and put links.
Helen is doing the seasonal cupcake for spring. I am doing the seasonal cupcake for winter. And this is where I am so far. You can see the top of the cupcake and a bit of the frosting coming down. And then you can't really see them yet because they're very, very light tan, but they're going to be knitting needles that come up, and they're tucked into the top of the frosting, which looks like a ball of yarn. So that's what I am. That's where I am so far with mine. I only printed out 2 pages, so you can't really see because I mean that's well, I know, but really. Okay, so I only printed out the page with the pattern and then the page with the colors, and
maybe I will take. I'll insert pictures.
Okay.
From her listing.
Okay. Okay, but I mean, you can see that, well, I've done all my changes because we didn't have the exact DMC floss, and I'm willing to spend so much money on patterns, but I will not spend 65 cents to get the right color.
Well, and you know what it is? It's not that you're not going to spend not even 65 cents. You have to go out to do it, and we have floss right there.
Right, we have tons of floss, so that I just found things that matched.
I mean, at one point, like, I do want to try and, like, take a pattern and do exactly what they said and just go and find the exact threads.
Right.
But right now it's fine. However, with mine, we're going to show you where you run into problems.
Right. So anyway, that's where I am so far. You can see my ring where I usually have a hoop, but I moved my hoop over to my next project.
So this is mine. Mine is going to be, there's fairly similar, but up here, since mine's spring, I have cross stitch needles coming out of my cupcake instead of the knitting needles. But what we were talking about was we took the list of DMC flosses and pulled up the color online and said, oh, okay, this excuse me, this is like a rosy pink. Do we have anything that looks like it? And we'd match it. And so we pulled up the one DMC, it was 3799, I believe, and it came up black on the screen. So we pulled out black.
Right.
And so then this morning I was stitching, and you can see the black stitches here, and then there's a whole swath here that takes the same color. And I did these, and I thought, why are you putting black in the top of a cupcake? And then I just started down here, and I was doing the black here where you can see the gray. And I'm like, that just doesn't look right.
No,
So
it looked really bad.
I pulled up the picture from her listing, and it was a pewtery gray, not black. So that I went and just found the right gray, and I left those for right now. And that just looks so much better than just the stark black.
Yeah.
So, and if we had read the color name rather than just looking at the picture, it said, I think it said like it was pewter or something like that. We would have known not black, go dark gray. But yeah, live and learn.
Yep.
So, it is one of the pitfalls of just not knowing what you're doing.
Freehanding things.
And just being, I want to start and I want to start now.
Right.
So, but this is the frosting part of my cupcake. It's going to be all pinks. And then here's like the whipped cream.
It's going to be pretty.
It is. So, just so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jen, so much.
Thank you very, very much. So I put in a little bit of time on that, and then I put in a little bit of time on my Fight Like a Girl. Can't remember how far I'd gotten last time.
You were talking about the greens because
Somebody left us a
Christine
comment.
said that she could see the
All right, so
the shading on your greens.
that's the bottom. I've added Oz. I'm going to back stitch in the Wizard of when I'm all finished. And now I am starting to do the blue going up towards, I believe Alice's foot is going to be hanging down into.
You might want to do some of your back stitching now, only because I was doing the back stitching on my mouse,
Yeah,
and I thought
it makes such a difference.
Well, it makes such a difference, and it isn't. It's not my favorite thing in the world.
Oh,
And to have all that back stitching, it's like weaving in your ends facing
Right.
you, and that's all you have left to do it. I can see it just sitting there.
because this is the overall pattern that I am doing, and there's a lot to back
Yeah.
stitch. So I may do that. That's a good idea. I may do that. Just put that in.
Yeah,
And then I think I'm supposed to outline her too.
yeah. Do that back stitching just so you, and him, because it's like you outline Toto.
Right.
Because it's
Okay.
just it's a lot, and it's not.
Not the most fun thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's where I am. So I was working on Alice or on Dorothy right here in the middle, and then I am slowly moving my way up, and there's Alice with her foot hanging down. So that's what I will be doing. But I think what I will do is I will finish the block that has Dorothy, and then go over to either side and do the middle swath first, and then either do the top or the bottom, but do everything in
Oh,
the
okay.
middle,
So you're gonna do that.
the middle shelf first,
Yeah.
and do that. So I am working my way through this one, and I love how things are popping up and showing. It's like, oh look, that's where it's supposed to be.
I have done quite a bit on my chocolate lovers. This is the mouse that I finished that I was talking to Mary about. So see how much backstitching there is on him. And there are 4 mice in this pattern. It makes all the difference in the world.
Right,
as you will
'cause
see from the next one.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of it, and I can see myself thinking about, I don't feel like back stitching today. And look at the second one. He's actually the first one, but he's the second one I've done.
God, he's so cool. I love him.
So he is just about done, except for the back stitching, and then I just have to see. He's got his shading down here that shows his shadow. So I have to do his shadow, and those are all half stitches. So I just have to do his shadow and the shadow of the chocolate, and then the back stitching on him, and he's done, and I can move on to the third one.
I have to tell you, when I start doing the half stitches, I whip through those
Oh, it's
things.
like it's amazing how fast you can go. And
Yeah.
also, we tried different needles yesterday,
Right.
and it is faster.
It really
with
is. They're nice
a
needles.
better needle. I just love the amount of personality, and he hasn't even got all his personality yet because he hasn't got his face. Of him just leaning on the chocolate.
Right.
And I look at this and I just have to stop doing everything else.
Right. Do you have to
And
make
finish them.
yourself get up and get to work? Because
Yeah.
all you want to do is...
But I mean, I've been rotating. Like, today I'll do this, and
Right.
tomorrow I'll do this. And, but I'm so close with him that it's just like, yeah, today I'll do him, and tomorrow I'll do him.
And finish him up.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then there are going to be there are 2 more to come, but that's how they look so far. And part of what I love about cross stitch, I mean, I'm really, really, really enjoying the process of the whole thing. X's on fabric.
Right.
Made that.
Whenever I think about this kind of thing, where it's knitting or the cross stitch or the embroidery, you are just putting little stitches together,
Right.
and you are coming up with something that is amazing.
Right.
And not so much with either of the two that I was working on before, but the one I'm about to show now, it's all of a sudden you really see what it's going to be.
Right. And
with him, when you were putting him together, it's like all of a sudden the veil was lifted and you're
Right.
like, oh, that is definitely.
And then all the shading makes sense
Right.
and everything.
all
and
the
it's just-
17 shades of gray that you
Well,
have to use.
exactly. And here you're gonna have one strand of gray and one strand of white. And really, does it make that much difference?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Because the shading is so good. And the amount of work
Yeah.
that went into it is just amazing.
So, I just love this pattern. And
I
she has a
should-
lot of mice, and she adds more every so often when I go into Etsy. Oh, she added another mouse.
So I should have said that mine is by Tanya Amity, and the illustration is by Elena Nedkova. But was this Tanya Amity on Instagram or on Etsy? It
Yes.
was, right?
Yeah.
All right. So here is the name of the designer of mine. Hopefully you can see that and it's not getting blown out. And Helen's is,
Mine is the Lolata shop on Etsy.
okay. Just in case you want to go get yourself some.
Yeah.
All right. Then another viewer, Cheryl, sent us this package. And Cheryl, thank you so much.
Oh my God, this package is just crazy.
Oh my God. She sent us, well, she started by sending us the Hirschner's catalog with some stitching things marked on it so that we could see different things that are available.
Our
And then
accessories and stuff.
right, and then she sent us all this fabric.
Because we had said that we were, did we want to go linen? Did we want to go stick with the Ada? And she's like, here, try some.
So she had bits left over from things that she had done, and she sent them over to
Right.
us.
This is 28 count Joblin. This is 18 count Ada. And this Ada, this does not feel like Joanne's Ada.
This is very,
This is very
different Ada.
soft. So this is 18 count Ada. Here's a 14 count Ada that is so soft.
Oh, look, there are the needles.
Oh, look. She said she was going to send us needles. And oh, those are thin. Okay. So she sent us needles to try. Oh, okay. So this is a 14 count Ada. Oh my God, this is so soft. And I think somebody had said to us that once you wash the Ada, they put a starching something on it to sell, that it gets softer. And this is obviously dyed, so it was washed. And this is just, this feels like, what am I trying to say? The long underwear shirt.
Oh, okay. Like the waffle weave
Yeah.
cotton. Yeah. That is really nice. Love that color. Love that color.
So this is 16 count Ada. Also very soft. Another 16 count Ada. I love this color.
See, no, I would not pick that for you.
No, just as a background. I would not
Yeah.
pick it as anything other but as a background.
Right.
I love the variegation.
Yes.
Now this I love. This is 28 count Joblin, I believe, as well. Look at that.
But this, I think, is linen.
Yeah.
Because that has a
Or
whole
I think the
different feel.
Joblin maybe, I don't know. We don't know enough about what we're talking about.
This is so soft.
And this is, again, the 28 count Joblin in a minty color. So Cheryl, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And also, she sent us some free patterns that you can get on online that are from Brooks Books Publishing.
And she said the reason she sent them to us was because we have both jumped full in with great big huge projects, and she said it's always good to have a small project so that you finish something.
Right.
Because you don't want it to always just be an ongoing process. You want to have things that you finish.
So in 2014, Brooks Books put out a 1 per month advent calendar, and they did animal advent calendars, and she sent us over a couple of the patterns, and you can go online.
Are there only 12?
No, 24. So maybe there were 1 or more per month from March.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, you know what it was? March 2014 to October 2015.
Oh, okay.
So they did it for a year and a half. But what they did was they're different animals for each of the 25 days of Advent, 24 plus Christmas. So one of the ones that she sent us was the cow. And then she sent us, because, you know, yarn and dyeing and everything, she sent us the sheep. Is this the sheep? Nope, this is the giraffe. And then there's the sheep knitting. If for no other reason, everybody needs to do this because of the sheep knitting each day. So I am doing, she also sent us Fitzwilliam Frog because, you know, the toads.
Oh, wait, no, you're shadowing it.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
All right. So this is my pattern that I am doing. You can see I highlight my pattern. Somebody made that suggestion and that is wonderful.
Oh, life-changing.
Yeah. So, look at him. Isn't he fantastic?
I love his feet.
And he's going to have a mustache because he's Fitzwilliam Frog.
So cool. And it's small. As she said, it's a small project. So you do, within a couple days, you could get it done. Or if you're just sitting down all day, you could probably do one in a day.
I think this is going to fit into a 4-inch embroidery hoop. And we are going to have them all in little embroidery hoops, and they're going to be our advent calendar.
For our advent calendar.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're going to do them and hopefully get them all done by Christmas or by December 1st. And
but you're doing this. This is 18 count Ada that you're doing this on that we got
Right.
from Joann's. It's very stiff.
yes,
But I think if we washed it again, it would soften up. But you were having exhaustion, 4.5 hours sleep, and dark.
yeah,
She started to do it last night. Just like I just can't see anything.
I couldn't.
I mean, we brought in the yacht light, and it just even didn't make a difference.
So this morning, the first 20 minutes of this morning were taking out all the stitches that I did last night because it was such a mess. So that's where I am. That's how far I've gotten with him, and I'm having so much fun with this. Love this. So we are going to try and get them all done because we're like, yeah, we could do 1 a month, and but you're right. We need to do at least two a month and more.
But if we each do 1 a month,
I think we're going to need to do, to do it in time to get it done by
December 1st.
December 1st, we're going to have to do 3 a month.
Yeah, because we've got, oh my God, we only have 6 months till December.
No, we don't. It's only March. You have 8. You have 8.5 months before December 1st.
Okay.
Dial that panic back.
7.5 months?
8.5 months. When are you going to just learn to accept that I can do this in my head? Anyway, that is Fitzwilliam Frog. Cheryl, I love it. Thank you so much. And if you want to join us and do these for you, it is Brooks Books Patterns, and you can find them online, and they have a link on the side or a button on the side that takes you right to their animal advent calendars, and you can print them all out and do them all yourself.
Which is very, very generous.
Yes, really nice. So that is my 3rd and final cross stitch that I'm working on.
Mine is just a little bit to show. My 3rd is the Prairie Schooler Rabbit Run. This is where I did my foray into linen and quickly abandoned it. But that is how far I've come.
So pretty.
So you can just see the beginning of the rabbit head. So that's him right there. Very cool.
Very pretty.
Lot of gray, but
It's a pretty gray.
it looks so pretty when you just
Yeah.
have the square. So
No. I like that. I like that. Normally, I would shy away from that kind of thing, but that
Yeah.
A, that's a gorgeous gray, and B, no, she's got him. Do you have a different color for his jacket?
oh yeah, his jacket's gonna be a blue.
Oh, okay. So it's not going to be all one color,
Oh no! It's just right now it's a lot of gray is what I meant.
right?
So
So wait till you start putting in the cherry blossoms.
yeah, because I mean you've got the flowers and his vest and everything. So I'm actually almost to his vest. So.
Oh, cool.
I don't know how we're gonna get anything done.
Neither do I. Because, as Helen said, we lost our damn minds. And we decided, you know what?
When you don't sleep and you just like,
You
yeah,
find
go
something
ahead.
online and you love, and then it just like sort of blossoms out of control. So we found this designer. This is Alessandra Adelaide Needleworks, and we found him and decided that yeah, we really kind of needed him.
Yeah.
So we got him. And then Helen found this moon that we just love. So we went with the spring moon. And then somebody had suggested Nimue for us because she thought that they would fit with our sensibilities. And boy,
This is all your fault.
were you right?
My bank account does not, thank you.
Oh my God.
I just love that.
Oh my God. Just, oh my God. I am going to, this is the next one I am going to do. However, I'm just going to say I'm just a little intimidated because you start with a pattern that is enormous.
Well, now you know why she doesn't download or...
Okay, so this is just
So first you have to figure out how to...
the bottom part of the fabric.
Or the top.
Okay. Yeah, that's the bottom.
No, you're looking at the bottom. You're showing them the top.
Okay, so that's the top. That's the bottom. Oh my God. And
I mean, so first you have to figure out how to photocopy it because you're not going
that
to
I think
mark
is
up.
going to be
Yeah, 'cause
relatively easy.
I
You
think
just-
it's folded in 8.5
Yep.
by 11, so...
even if it's not, you just photocopy that, and that's
Yeah.
what you go with, you know, and that's okay. But
These are not just cross stitches either because there are other stitches that we have to do.
yeah, and it's just she's got all the different colors that you need, so I'm gonna have to go through and figure out the different colors, and we're not gonna have them, so I'm going to have to go in and figure them out and match them. And
For something like that, I think you might want to just go and buy the DMC for it.
you think so?
We'll just go and take the time and buy them. Because I really think...
Because look at all the numbers that you need.
But you
This
want...
little box
I
here.
mean, look at these colors.
All the different colors that you need. So there are like 57 different colors that you need. I am very excited to start it because I love this. Really, really love it. Just a little intimidated. So I'm working my way up to it. However, it's going to be spectacular.
Just need time.
Right.
There's with every cross stitch, you can't just start.
Right.
You have to get everything ready,
Right.
get all your threads ready. And now I understand why people have their projects all put together in project bags. They may not have started them, but they put all the thread together, they put the fabric together, everything is ready to go so that when they're ready, they can just grab it and go.
Right.
Not just be like, yeah, no, I can't face that right now.
Okay, so would it be true to form if we just got one?
Or
Oh,
three,
please.
because we've already shown you 2 others.
Oh, please.
So, okay.
This I think is the robin. Okay.
Guys,
I put on
this is so long.
I put up a picture on Instagram and said this is going to be a doozy, and I was not kidding. All right, so Robin Fairy, go ahead.
This is the Tits Fairy for Titmouse. And we have titmice in our yard all the time.
Can you see the cricket on top of her head?
That's, I mean,
Yeah,
other than
that's
the
the one.
titmouse, I'm like, no,
She's got
because
the cricket.
we were trying to be responsible and not buy everything. I'm sorry, I have a cat hair in my
Okay,
eye.
so seriously, with all the patterns that we got, this doesn't even touch the
Right.
surface of what we wanted. We took so much out of the cart before we
Oh,
were done.
absolutely. But I'm like, no, you have to leave that one because I want the cricket on her head.
Right.
There's the kingfisher, and I have loved this illustration for forever, so I just,
Had to stay in.
yeah. That
I don't even know what the last one is.
Neither do I. Oh, okay. Well, this is for our mom.
No, it's not.
Well, so she can do it because she loved it.
Yeah, well, she
This
can
is
make
for
a copy.
our mother.
No, she's not.
Really?
Yes.
This is all the cross stitch you have to do. You can make
Yes.
a copy, and we will give this to our mother.
No, I'm keeping it. Because, I mean, this is me. Pumpkins and orange, and
Stop being greedy. It's for your mother.
I will share it with her. So, that's what we got.
That was us losing our minds because
Right.
we have all the time in the world.
Also, this is just one from one shop. We have an order coming from another shop that hasn't even come yet. Because
Those were the pre-orders from the National Market. I can't even remember what we got, but there were some Santa Claus. Oh my God, the Santa Clauses are so awesome.
those are the ones
And
that
I think
are coming.
we got a Halloween one.
They're coming soon. Don't know when. It's going to be a lovely day when that mail comes.
Yes.
We're not going to.
Oh right, we
That's
did
right,
that.
we did that.
And we paid for it ages ago, so it's like it's free.
I know. It's like we paid for it already.
Hey, stop! You're moving the camera.
All right. I think that's it for cross stitching.
Okay. I think the dogs might have to.
Right. So I think we're almost done.
Yeah. Okay, so we have reading, games, and the bags. You want to do the bags quickly because they're right there.
Right. Okay.
Very quickly, some self-promotion. We added some new bags to the shop.
This is our newest Anita Jaram fabric. These are cats.
I was gonna say, those
With
are
yarn
cats
balls.
playing with yarn balls. So
We have it in the huge zippered wedge.
look at him.
That's Tabitha sitting on an
Yeah.
orange skein of yarn.
And also, as with all of them, they're little birds just put in there in knitted caps. I love this fabric.
We have the standard zippered wedge, and then we have the standard size toadstool. So those are the three in that. Those are all online. Then we have llamas. These are
Look
only
at this
available
fabric.
in the extra large toadstool right now. So we have that one. And then we have it in reddish colors. So same design, but just different colors.
Oh,
So
I
these
love
are
this.
all-
This one I love.
I know these are all online. This is the size that I am using for my blanket, and it fits a ton of yarn. I mean, it opens up to hold a ton of yarn. And then it has pockets that go across one side, a set of 3 pockets that go across one side. So, and it's a drawstring. And I know some people like to have zippers because they it keeps the yarn inside and everything. But if you just pull the drawstring tight and loop it, that baby is not coming open.
And there's so much
Yeah.
fits in here.
So those are our bags that are in the shop right now that are available. We will be bringing these with us to Long Island as well.
These are the newer bags. There are plenty of
Right.
other bags in there right now.
Right.
As
All
we
right.
get ready for show season, we have a very well-stocked shop at the moment.
Okay.
We brought back our boho colors. They're in the shop, and Narnia is coming back in the next couple days.
Yeah.
So
Right. Oh, I did want to mention, have you guys heard,
she's been wanting to do this for the last 3 podcasts.
I know I keep forgetting to do it. Have you heard the new pentatonic song that they've just put out, The Sounds of Silence? It's the Simon and Garfunkel Sounds of Silence, only it's pentatonics doing it. If you haven't,
I stumbled across it one night in the middle of the night on YouTube, and I just sent it to my brother. I'm like, wow.
yeah, no, it's one of those things where definitely listen to it.
repeat.
Yes.
Alexa, replay song.
Yeah, no, I love it. I absolutely love it. Each of them has their own part that they sing, and it's amazing. So good. All right. We had mentioned that we're cutting back on TV a little bit. There's a podcast we listen to called Young House Love, and
You might have heard of it. It's a little podcast.
yeah, if you're into home decor,
They might go somewhere.
right? Anyway, they do things about their life, and they gave up TV for a week. Cold turkey, gave up TV for a week. They actually, when they podcast, they had been off it for about 11 days. And they were surprised at what they were doing and how they were having fun with the kids and things like that.
And the one thing that I found amazing or surprising, amazing may be too strong a word, that their screen time went down.
Right.
Because you would think you've taken away the TV, so you're going to pick up the phone or the iPad to supplement. And no, it's like all of a sudden now I can do those things that I always can't seem to find the time to do.
Right. So what we have done is we have not given it up completely, but we are cutting back on it. And one of the things we've been doing is we've been playing games.
Yeah, we 2 nights last week we did it?
Cross stitch and play games, or knit and play games. And we had gotten a new game called Wit's End, which we really had a lot of fun with.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
It's got cards. Some of them are trivia questions. Some of them are riddles. Some of them are mental
teasers.
Math.
Yeah.
So that it was really a lot of fun. It was a good game.
It's a pricier game because it's a big board game with a lot of stacks of cards. But we saw it online, and they were saying they were pricing it out as like $50, but we got it for like $32, I think, on Amazon. So if you look up Wit's End on Amazon.
What we really liked about it was that it can be a 2-person game or a 5-person game.
Right.
You can mix and match and do as many people as you want.
And you can play it multiple times and be like you're playing for the first time.
Right.
There are a ton of questions. So.
Right. So that, we really, really enjoyed it. Okay, so reading. Okay, so this is
a long list because it's been a week.
This is my list of books. So far, we finished Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. We were listening to that together. Do not like that as much as The Rules of Magic. No,
it was just, it was way too long.
Also,
it was also, she was going along and the writing was the writing was was written well. And then all of a sudden she got vulgar for no particular reason.
Right.
Other than to be vulgar. It didn't fit with the story, it didn't fit with the characters, it was just, it's like every so often, what were we watching? I think it was Suits. When we were watching Suits, all of a sudden they allowed
the word damn.
Or I think it was...
No, it was because they had allowed the other one, but then they allowed the word damn, and it was like...
And they were just throwing the word
every other sentence.
And the other thing was, what's the spin-off of The Good Wife? The Good Place? No,
The Good Fight.
The Good Fight. CBS is doing that on their streaming service, so they allow language, and it's like, oh, okay, well, now we're just going to say it. Every other word. And you don't need it. The Good Wife was an excellent, excellent show on network TV, and you didn't need the language, and now it's like you allow the language, so we're going to be edgy and we have it.
And I would like to point out...
I'm not a prude. I use
both
the
of us
word
curse like
constantly.
drunken sailors.
So that's not it. It's just when you just using it for the sake of using it, and in this particular case, it's jarring.
Right, because she's got this really good writing up until then, and then all of a sudden she's throwing this in. And
right, and when you're having it read to you on an Audible, and then all of a sudden it's just like you're going from this beautiful, and this is just an example, but it's like beautiful alliteration and soft flowery, and then all of a sudden, bam! And it's like, why did you do that?
And the thing was that you didn't need it because you could have gotten the whole episode and the image that you were trying to portray without it. You did not need it.
And better.
Yeah.
You could have done it better without it.
Right.
So and stayed with, so that was what bothered me the most, other than being way too long.
And then the Rules of Magic is the prequel to Practical Magic that she just put out last year, I think. And that one I loved.
Yeah.
I thought that was so much better. So that, and it's the same family and everything. It's just, I so much preferred that one.
However, having said that, we both still now want to watch the movie Practical Magic again, having read the book and see where they do things.
So we have
Plus,
that.
I don't remember that much about the movie.
All I remember is I don't think I like Nicole Kidman in it.
Yeah.
Because I know it's Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock, and I don't think I liked her that much. But
Okay.
all right. So we finished that, and you finished 9 Women, One Dress by
Yes.
Jane Rosen.
Mary Beth had done that before, and I finished it. That's fun. That's just a light, frothy, fun.
Yes. I finished A Murder in Time by Julie McElwain. We mentioned that a little bit on one of our previous podcasts about how there are some, again, way too
Speaking
long.
of too long.
And there were some things that just really didn't work for me as much. So I put that in at like a 2 or 3 star.
And it's, you know, it's the first of a trilogy, I think. There's at least one more. And, you know, on the well-written ones, it's like, oh, okay, I need the next book. Really, I could care less whether I read the second one.
Right.
So,
I finished The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, which you had already finished.
I finished that on the last podcast. Yeah.
That is all about Alaska and a family growing up, or a girl growing up in Alaska and her family and the situation she is in. Okay, that's a really good book. That's a really, 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 really good book. It did not affect me the same way it affected Helen. I have absolutely no desire to go to Alaska in the middle of the winter. I don't need that. I wouldn't mind going to Alaska, but I don't need to do the whole, you know, it's light, now it's dark. But
it's just to see it.
However,
I know I'm not going to like it. Just to see it.
I did like it
Yeah,
very, very much. It was
yeah.
very, very well written, and she's got a ton of other books. So Kristen Hanna is now on our list of books authors to keep in mind. I had finished Alice already, and I finished The Red Queen by Christina Henry.
I have started Alice, and I completely understand.
This
I
is
just got
a
sucked in.
dark,
Yep.
twisted story. There are trigger warnings all over the place, so that if there are things like violence or violence against women, exploitation of women, the Red Queen goes into some things with kids, that any of these, if they are triggers to you, these are not the books for you. However, if they're not, and you don't mind, like,
If you have a dark and twisted part of your soul.
they're fantastic. Oh my God, they're so good.
It's just, I mean, and I don't normally, I will shy away from that kind of thing. That thing sucked me right from the beginning.
Yes. It is
The
so
writing is so
good.
good that it just,
And it carries
even
through.
though, and you're reading it and it's like, but it's just like, okay, keep going.
Yeah, oh
So,
my God.
yeah.
It's so good. Christina Henry. She retells a whole bunch of different fairy tales, and I have her on my list that we need to get them all.
And what, Red Riding Hood is coming out?
Yes.
Okay.
But she's got Pan. She's got...
She does Pan.
Well, no. She does Captain Hook.
Oh, I'm doing like Pan.
No, The Lost Boys.
I know.
So she's got Captain Hook and Peter
Okay,
Pan and
yeah.
that sort of thing. And she's got a couple other ones too that just love it. I finished The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. This is set on true events. It's a fictional story, and the 3 main characters are fictional. However, they could very easily have been a part of the Alice Network. The Alice Network was a group of women spies during World War One, who smuggled soldiers and information from Germany and the edge of Germany and France, like Limoges and
The border.
but they were bringing information back and forth across the German border into France and across into England, because
At the time, people didn't pay attention to the women.
well, it wasn't. They caught on. They learned very quickly, but how they would get the information, they were wrapping messages around bobby pins, and inside their wedding rings they'd wear a wedding ring and have the message wrapped around the inside of their finger inside the wedding ring. It was amazing.
It's war.
So there are some things that happen, but the writing was fantastic. The people were so good. It goes back and forth between 1945 and 1915, so it's the First World War and just after the Second World War.
And you had that from the library. It's a relatively new book. It's one of the ones where when you have to put a hold on it to get it.
It took me, I think...
You had 3, because you'd get it for a week and then you'd lose it for 6 months. And not really, but 6 weeks or so. I mean, you've been going at this for a while, and it's that good that it kept you...
Yes. And
every time you came back, you get it back, it's like, oh, yay, I get my book back.
Right. Helen was talking about how she wants to read it, and she said, I'll go put a hold on it on the library, and I said, you know what, we just saw the paperback in, I think it was Walmart. We should just pick it up, because then you'll have plenty of time to read it. You won't have to worry about it, and we'll pass it on to everybody else in the family, because it's just a really, really, really good book. There were, as Helen said, there were a couple of places that it was a little bit hard to go through, but the story and the people and the writing were phenomenal. So The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. Recommend that one highly. I'm listening right now to The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. You have finished this?
Yes.
So I am about, I think, a third of the way through. That is an interesting story.
Yeah.
There's some interesting people in this book.
But you see what I mean about how all of them are horrible people.
Nobody is what you think they are.
Right.
So it's just, it's...
So that once you finish that, then we're going to have to do the movie.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. I really want to see it.
Because I'm pretty sure Rachel Weisz is the girl on the train.
Really? No, Emily Blunt.
I think Emily Blunt is...
Is she Sally? No, not so. Jess, the one she calls Jess?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm just... You're probably all going, what is she talking about?
Okay, we're going to have to watch.
In my head, this is the way the movie goes.
All right, so, all right, you are reading right now?
I'm reading, my physical book is The Lilac Bus, which is our book club book. We will talk about when we do our book club. And then Alice is my Audible.
Okay. My Audible is The Girl on the Train, and my book, I just picked up The Prayer Box by Lisa Wingate. It is set on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, which is enough to get my attention right away because...
Remember, she started it last night. She's like, so just a warning. We're going to the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, please, force me.
Okay, so you know the cat hair that you had? It's now in my eye.
We like to share here.
I was a little bit worried about it, whether it would get too preachy or that kind of thing, but I don't think it is. I think it's going to be, an older woman dies, and the person who is renting her cottage in front is the one that is instructed to clean out her house, and she finds 81 prayer boxes for each year of the woman's life. She started when she was about 10. She died at 91. So she has 81 boxes, one for each year of her life. And it's not so much prayers as notes and letters. And you learn about this woman's life.
I think that's fascinating.
I was prayer boxes.
I'm friends with her on Goodreads, so it came across my Goodreads this morning. Maybe I started a new book. I'm like, oh, what are you reading? So then I read the synopsis. And I'm, oh.
It sounds
that looks good.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be really, really good. So I'm really kind of interested to see how it goes. I haven't gotten that deep into it, but I'm very interested to see. And also, we both are very much into, we would love to have the time for journaling and things like that, but keeping track of things so that you can go back and see what you were doing. So I think this is a different way of doing it and a neat way of doing it. You know, something a little bit different.
And just the idea of finding...
all about this
stumbling
person,
in a house and then finding, this person's life.
Right. Because, the people that you find these boxes for, they're always interesting people. So, and then we are both listening together as we're doing our stitching and that sort of thing. We are doing The 7.5 Deaths of Evil in Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. And that so far is not what I thought it would be. However,
fun. It has an affected nature to it.
Yes. You feel like you're in a 20s,
It's like an Agatha Christie,
like, house party type of, basically it's a house party and
there's a murder.
There are murders. So it's like you're put back into Agatha Christie. I was thinking S.S. Van Dyne was writing in the 20s that was like that, or Lord Peter Wimsey would be another one that would fit in with it, you know, that kind of thing. And it's that kind of overall feel.
And it's very much, I mean, it's not even like a modernized version of it. It is that type of thing. And I'm going to be interested to see how it plays out, because I think right now I probably would not stick with it if I were reading the physical book.
Okay.
But I am enjoying very much
listening to it.
So
that's what we are listening to together. So I will put a list of all these books down in the show notes so that you can go and link to them if you're interested, because we do have a couple of really, really good ones that we both are enjoying very much. I love it when we get good books. Right, man? And somebody was asking us, you know, how do you have time to do all the reading? And we listen to it while we sew. Yeah. And I'm getting so many books done by listening to it as I sew, and I love it.
Oh my God, I miss my books, because for a while before we did Audible, it was like I get 20 pages. That's being generous. I get a couple pages a night, because that's the only time
that we allow ourselves to read.
However, you know, with this whole no TV thing, that's one of the things you can pick up, is you pick up more reading. I want to start quilting, maybe to have a night or two that we quilt.
I cannot do anything, knitting, stitching, anything like that, and physically read at the same time, because I'm constantly looking at my work.
No. It would just be, you know, I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to have more reading time.
Right.
I'm going to go to bed earlier. So.
So yeah, that's the plan. So. All right.
I think
we've been going for,
we have rambled on for close to 2 hours. So we should stop.
Okay.
Thinking the dogs have to go to the bathroom.
And
I'm starving.
Helen's stomach has been making
I hope it doesn't
cacophony
come.
of noise.
It's time for lunch.
Time to eat. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us and sticking with us. And we hope you have a wonderful week.
We might have to start breaking these into, like, you know, book tubes and floss tubes so that they're shorter.
We hope you have a wonderful week.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Create lots of good things.
And we have crocuses in the snow. Have to figure that out.
Right. So gonna have to come up with something for that. All right. Have a great week.
Yes. Go forth and create, everybody.
Bye.